first here, we've got Dice versus Jake, Falco versus Roy, and already Roy sending it all the way off the stage. No way you're getting back on like that.
Jake on the Roy, Dice on the Falco, and the Falco is cooking right now. Already the Roy is cooking right now, 50% quickly dealt up. But these are two very fast-paced characters, two characters that can quickly rack up the damage here. One opening is all these characters really need to just explode that damage. And right now, very dangerous spot here for Dice to get out of. Good down air down, though. Oh, but he gets the jab lock, but he can't find the follow-up. Grab comes through instead. Run up forward tilt will take the first stock of this tournament.
I love to see it. That is some great Smash Lane gameplay right there. Huge reactions by Jake so far, especially on that punish. The follow-up is huge. The read is massive. And just like that, they're a stock up. Do keep in mind, these are crew battles here. Every single stock matters so much more than the last. You stay alive through a match, you're on to the next one, which means you get even more time to play, even more time to get better, and even more time to show us your moves, just like that. Dice almost evening at the stock count. They haven't taken any percentage yet. It'd be so huge if they can do it, and there it is. Evened it right back out at 2 stocks apiece.
Back to a tie game, like you mentioned, 2 stocks apiece. And not only is this traditional crew battle format, it's 5v5, but it's also best of ones. There's no chance at runbacks here, so you have to come ready to play when you're playing on this stage. And you can hear the crowd behind each player too. They've got their benches directly behind them, cheering them on, helping them get hyped and ready to play in this match. But right now, both players looking for that opening. Good up tilt here, good combo game landed by Dice. Low recovery, not too much that Dice is going to be able to do about it for now. Just trying to get a read on how much fade Jake is really willing to use on that recovery. And now Dice with stage control really getting the edge, and they're going to connect into the back air. Still not enough to take the stock quite yet. Forder just barely misses. Try to catch a jump here, but the up tilt will lead to the back air, and down goes stock number 2.
Down it goes. Dice leading the way for MSU right now. Still a stock up, keep in mind. Jake lost their second stock with no percentage out of Dice. They need the run back on that move right now in order to even it back up. So far, they've got him at the end of the stage. Can they find the follow-up aerial? They cannot. Add in a little bit more damage. Every single bit that goes through here just makes Jake's life that much harder. Already 50%. A little bit more extra credit on the board puts them in a very, very dangerous spot. Because keep in mind, this Falco, they're building up rage right now.
A lot of rage could mean a potentially early kill, especially with how lackluster Roy's recovery can be at times. A lot of low recoveries here. Jake has felt very safe doing so. It is very hard for Falcon to contest. He's got to get the timing right. But when they get on stage, Dice has the reads, and they run off for the down air, and it's going to be the spike to cap off game 1.
2 stocks still on the board. Dice gets to sit in that chair, kind of settle in and get themselves ready. Oh my God. I am loving this because we talk a whole lot about, getting the read, getting the download, learning throughout, these best of 3s. Not the case today. You got to get it down quick. There is no time. There is no run back. There is no setup. You got to learn it immediately in that match and be watching your teammates go and trying to take the notes from them.
Yeah, you have to be very quick. You have to come in with a game plan in a matchup like this, in a format like this. And Dice, we've talked about in the past, some of the great players, especially here at the collegiate scene, they can just quickly flip that switch. If they see something, they'll be able to hold that in the pocket, but right when it comes out clutch time, they're able to just turn it on. And that's what Dice was able to do, right? The moment, it was very even through the kind of early portions of that game, first stock, maybe first round jitters, but the second that it mattered, that last stock, he's at a high percent. He has to make the play happen. He's able to win the on-stage game. And like we mentioned, had not challenged that low recovery all game. Jake was able to just simply snap to ledge every single time. The one time, run off down air at that high percent, perfectly timed, by the way, and Dice gets a 2 stock off the back of it.
Yeah, that's that amazing conditioning, that mental game in all these fighting games that is so, so perfect. In my opinion, fighting games are really just strategy games turned like all the way fast forward. We're running at 8 times speed just because of how smart these players have to be, not just, with their frame data, with their spacing, with all of their actions, but that mental game trying to outwit their opponents. In that time, opens it up with a first game victory for the MSU Spartans, coming out so, so strong. My favorite part of the gameplay from that was how well MSU just controlled the stage. You know, there was never any chance that Jake was going to get back on stage easy. Dice had it completely read every single time, sending out those up tilts, sending out the up smash, getting them to the air. Great follow-ups as well. No stall, no wait, no hesitation. Immediately knew the path that Jake was going to take and just chased him right down.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Dice, right? And the ability to kind of go through the checklist, right? Because once Roy is on the ledge, there's not a whole ton he can do, especially with the way Dice was playing very patient. They're just hanging, right around that roll distance range from ledge. So you can't do something like, for Roy, something like double jump forward air and, use get up attack or something. You have to commit to something a little bit more over the edge, something like a jump, something like a roll, and risk it. But you still have that laser that Dice had to kind of act as a final trump card. As button checks are happening now, we're going to get ready for that next match. But Dice, most importantly, the fact this is a crew battle, right, held on to that second stock at such a high percentage. They now reset to 0 here, and that is a huge turnaround because, again, Falco, very light character, could die very early, but now they get to start all the way back at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, every little bit of progress you can save, every little edge that you can bring into it is the most huge thing it could possibly be. Especially in these crew battles, these long games, you're going to be tracking around the games at 5 of them at minimum here. If it's a clean sweep, means you've got to conserve every single resource. Being able to reset that percentage back down to 0 while still maintaining that stock is huge.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Michigan State already off to a strong start. We talked about it in the past, right? This is a lineup that is very experienced. They've been in a couple different collegiate leagues, had a lot of success, and they've already played against a couple of the teams who are present at this tournament, including Iowa, I believe, in one of the other collegiate leagues. We're getting ready for the second match of the day. Dice is going to have to drop this opening stock here, but they're going up against a Snake for round number 2, so a very different pace coming through here for this matchup.
Yeah, we saw last time basically just all-out brawl, no hesitation. Both Roy and Falco, incredibly aggro characters. This time, we've got Dippy Sticks here out on the Snake. Going to see a lot more zoning, a lot slowing down this pace, just trying to keep Dice from being able to get in on this lad.
Yeah, very slow here, but that is the game that Snake likes to play. Get those grenades out, make this stage a minefield, and Snakes love this stage in particular too, so not surprised to see this locked in for this character battle. Bit of movement here towards center stage, as you can tell that they do want to approach here. It is Iowa, down a full player here, down 2 stocks, so they've got to try and make a play happen on this Falco, but Dice already showing a pretty strong punish game. All those up airs connecting. Snake is on the heavier side, but still, this is Falco at the end of the day.
Yeah, and with them being on that heavier side, that means that Falco can just roll these combos. Snake isn't as big as a hitbox as something like Bowser. They're still pretty heavy. They still want to kind of sit in those hitboxes and allow for those amazing follow-ups. Dice running that play is like their bread and butter right now. Once you get in the air, once you've been sent up, you can just say goodbye because you're going on a trip.
Dippy Six has got to come up with something here. They're battling for stage control. Crouching underneath the lasers is a good idea, but the problem is Dice is ready for it here. Throws out the up tilt, and now look at the combo game. Has the grenade. Great catch there, but it ends up working against him. Now a chance at the back air. Won't be able to pull that off quite yet. Grenade in hand, and it worked against him too. It set him up into the back air. Dice taking down 2 full stocks here off of Dippy Sticks, and now Dippy Sticks onto their last stock, 20, 30%, 42, 52, 61, 69, and already the pressure online here.
Just counting it up. Dice at 100% still hasn't lost their first stock of the game. Once again, Dippy Sticks sent off stage. Nice high recovery, but that just puts them right where Dice wants them. Able to just keep that punishment on. The moment this battle takes to the air, this is just Falco's entire space. This is what this character is built for. And I feel like this started out, a lot of projectiles flying back and forth, but the moment, and Dice really had a hard time trying to find their way in to close it, but once it kind of settled down a bit and Dice had the reads, had the area that this is how they want to run it, they really just kept it going. Now, surviving so far, it gets back to stage! Doesn't die at 150. Sit around like a ping pong ball does not matter.
Falco may be a light character, but he is a bird. He knows how to fly at the end of the day, and he's able to survive for so long against a character that packs such a heavy punch. Nikita does not do the trick, and they're able to survive. And Michigan State, you look at the crowd behind them, they're popping off.
They've got everybody. Look at that. That's all of the teams here. You see maybe, what, 10 people still at that free play area? Everyone else wanting to come by and check out the Smash action that we've got for you today, and it is good.
This arena is so much fun here at the State Farm Center. It is just something else to be here on this stage, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of these college students.
I mean, yeah, getting these college LAN tournaments, getting to meet your fellow students, get set up in the region, I think is so huge. This regionals like this are my favorite part of Smash because you get to see all of the little different intricacies, you get to see all the small parts of the play, you can see the different culture that all these regions have. And so far, the culture of Michigan is flying high and moving fast.
And it's so much fun to see because we mentioned Michigan State's got 2 full teams here. They got an A and B team, and I think they're both present watching this game behind the bench, cheering on their boys, as right now Dice is just on fire. He's taking out 2 full players for the side of Iowa. You can tell, thanks to our graphics here, Dice has only dropped a stock in the process. Looks like Nier is going to be locked in as that 3rd member for the side of the Hawkeyes. And Nier, a kind of double-edged sword type of player, I think, because we look at the characters that we've seen from them in the past. I see the Kazuya and Little Mac in his past.
Yeah, very aggressive, very, grounded, want to fight. Both of them, great combo feel exactly what, Dice is going to be looking to run off of. Send him in the air, send him off stage, run him through. That's exactly the counter to deal with either of these characters, is get them off of the ground. The challenge is going to be, can, a Kazuya, can a Little Mac use their weight, use their speed if it's Little Mac, use their weight if it's Kazuya, to kind of brute force the power through.
Yeah, that is going to be the challenge because Dice right now feels like the combos, the bread and butters, the up tilts, they're all online, and that makes comboing a big, tall character like Kazuya very, very easy. But in theory, right, Kazuya's a little bit heavier, should be able to survive. So Nier,
super armor on all of those attacks.
Yes, Nier has a ton of super armor on a lot of those attacks, so they should be able to make that work. But how quickly can you come online with your own combos, right? Because Kazuya's combos are a lot easier said than done.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a whole bag of tricks. I mean, any input that you want to go with them, you've got. They're coming from Tekken. And in Tekken, if you want to know all your moves, you need spreadsheets. And they tried to replicate that as much as possible in Ultimate. And so they've got a lot of moves. They've got a lot of versatility. They've got a ton of different things to pull out. The question is, can they get it through before they just get entirely rushed down by Dice, who we know is extremely aggressive, who we know is extremely fast, and who we know is locked down on the bread and butter combos getting you into the air.
Going to Town and City for this matchup here. Dice looking to extend the Spartans' lead and doing a pretty good job of doing so. Already 61, make it 70 on the platform. The extension, They nearly got the back air too. That was danger close there for the side of Nier. They're looking for something here, maybe. Got platform control, but now grab comes through. Another up air. Oh, went for the back air instead. They are out for blood on this stock. They want to close out these combos with the back airs, and they're going to be able to find it too. They barely got scratched. 11.3% that stock.
That might be the cleanest stock we've seen from them so far, and they've been clean all day. Something I want to point out, a lot of these combos aren't true combos. Dice is doing reads through these combos every single time. They're guessing, they're figuring it out, they're getting the download this quick and finding it every single out. This is just insane punish and follow-up on their advantage every single time. And as of late, they've not really had a big mistake and a big miss when they're in advantage.
Rage Drive online here, though, so maybe Nier can get something. Great tech. Rage Drive now offline, though. Has to come up with something, but the drag down going to knock him away. DI's down instead, stalling out, but he's got the timing. Dice is on lock right now. Shuts down the recovery. Shuts down stock number 2. Dice is only at 70% here. Well, Kazuya can kill very early. Nier's getting a little antsy with a couple of these smash attacks, and he's getting a ton of percent for it.
God, Dice is so clean with their advantage, because something I also want to point out is not only are they, meeting every single attack and getting their read, when they miss it, they're so quick at dashing out the perfect amount of space and dashing right back in and finding the kill. No patience, no hesitation, keeping right close, right on top of them, and setting up plays just like that. Still only one stock loss for Dice.
I was looking at the stats and I'm just thinking, he's dropped only one stock and he's taken out 3 members of Iowa. That's insane on a Falco, right? We talk about how good Falco is because of the combo ability, how strong they are, and how they can convert those combos. But like you mentioned, these are reads that are happening. This is just them, solidly reading their opponent, saying, okay, generally, you're probably going to air dodge out here, or okay, you want to attack me, I'll just back up a little bit and hold shield. And they're getting so much off the back of it. Dice, look at the numbers. 9 stocks taken when you only have to take 15. They've taken out half of the Iowa roster.
Taken out half of the Iowa roster. Iowa hasn't even taken half of their lives. Personally, I'm a bit sad. I was excited to see the rest of Dice, of the rest of, MSU that's coming out here. Instead, we just get to see the Dice show. And so far, they're keeping it rolling and rolling straight 6s, straight nat 20s.
Sultan going to be locked in for the side of Iowa. That's the Sora you're seeing on screen. Now we'll see what they can do about this Falco. 2 straight players getting 3 stock for the side of Iowa, but they can battle back. There is still time, but it all starts here and now on small battlefield with this stock. Sora, first Sora we've seen of the day. A very odd character, right? Feels like a very high ceiling for this character, but at the collegiate scene, we haven't seen a ton of that kind of come to fruition.
Yeah, I feel like Sora is one of those characters that needs a bit more time in the oven to be fully labbed out, but I do think they're a really good pick against this Falco. A little bit more floaty, a little bit more aerial, can actually try to match Falco when the fight takes to the sky, while still having good projectiles to try to get that spacing on land, which is exactly what you want when you're going against a rush-down aerial character. And so far, Sultan's playing Dice closer than we've seen anyone else do it.
Sultan's also playing at a very good range, though. You're seeing them use a lot of these projectiles, but it's just barely, perfectly spaced by Sultan, because it's putting that kind of dash distance just barely out of Dice's reach. That being said, once Dice gets in, they can find that up tilt to back air that we've seen all day long so far and take down one more stock here. That's 10 total stocks taken by one man alone. Dice on a mission right now. Sultan trying to shut him down, and so far has this Falco up to a very high percent, and Sora's kill power is surprisingly strong.
Oh yeah, Sora's got a lot going for him. I think the real issue is right now that eventually the fight has to close. Eventually someone has to commit fully in, and if it's Dice who's able to control that speed, I don't know that Sora has a ton of quick options on the ground to respond to it. The kill power is good, the aerial power is good, the projectiles are good, but you're always going to come out second if you're just using your abilities at the same time. I really think this Sultan needs to invest so much more in all this spacing and all these cutting off options, because otherwise Dice is just doing exactly what we see right now and just closing out anything that they could do and closing in before Sultan has a chance to react.
We were talking about how good Dice was at being aggressive, but it's the patient gameplay on stage. The minute they're off stage, he just says, okay, I'll wait for you to get back. How are you recovering? How do I play patient here so I don't get punished for being too overly aggressive? They gotten spikes off the back of it in the past here. I wouldn't be surprised to see one again, although spiking Sora, easier said than done. Oh, but he mistimes the freeze. That should have been an easy follow-up, but instead it's going to get converted, but an up smash will come through. Dice drops their second stock here of the opening crew battle of the day, but they're looking to take a stock of their own as Sora's at 143, 148. The forward air drag down into the down tilt will do the trick. Last stock apiece here.
Almost on even percent. Could go either way. Sultan's been playing this so extremely close. They've just been playing it second at the moment. Need to see them strike first here. As the projectiles go out, Dice really kind of settling into it, finding a good response with that reflect, finding a good response with their laser. But Sultan still has that aerial 3-hit combo that is so hard to deal with as Sora tacks on so much percentage so quickly. Dice, 70%, make that 80% as it tracks up a little bit more, 86. Sultan doing such a good job, dashing in, finding the line hit, dashing out, and forcing another neutral option. Now that they fully got this read down, the Dara isn't gonna hit, and now, oh no, set up for the combo!
Ooh, very, very close there with the up tilts, and look, he gets aggressive once more here, but the freeze is so clean, and that's gonna be too far away! That's gonna be the end of Dice's run here. Sultan shuts it down, and Iowa State take down the first member of Michigan State.
Puts Dice on ice, and just like that, Iowa found their first win of the crew battle. Rotate them out, put the next one in. Dice eventually not rolling high enough to pass the check. So we're going to see the next one. It was insane. Spacing and reads there at the end. Talk about saving your knowledge. Talk about waiting for just the right time. Gets down to that last stock, and then right there at the perfect moment, starts sending through that bit more hidden run strategy. Completely mixes up the playstyle. Completely takes away any reads that Dice could have while still retaining their own knowledge. And because of that, they're able to just roll it right through.
Yeah, the change of pace was so clean in that moment. And on top of that, too, the punish game. The one time Dice gets overly aggressive, says, okay, I'm going for the runoff down air. This is the time. This is the moment. Because they've done that numerous times on last stock scenarios. But this time, the one time he does it, it doesn't land, and he's ready for it. Sultan on the reversal there, using the freeze, sending them into the stage. You have to mash out of that move, and even if you do, you may end up mashing a wrong option out of it in terms of that recovery. You're not going to be able to tech it going back into that stage. Perfectly timed by Sultan to punish that overly aggressive options. They shut down Dice. They do drop 2 stocks in the process, but one of the hottest players right now is taken off the board. Now they're going to have to deal with Suspect for the side of Michigan State, who, as you can see, thanks to our graphic, the Kazuya Nishima re-entering the stage.
Kazuya Nishima. Lots of heavy hitters today. We started with Roy, ran it into Snake, then Kazuya, keeping it going. We're keeping that power high. We're keeping the energy high. We're keeping the weight high. I love it. I love to see those big, like, heavy-hitting options because personally, I play ZSS, so I love them because that means I get to combo them. But I love seeing people just use sheer power to find their way through matches.
Yeah, and it should be interesting to see because we put down Suspect as a Piranha Plant main. So this is a Kazuya pocket pick right here to see what they can do in this series. Can they shut down Sultan, who has shut down one of their top performers so far? That being said, it is the first match of the day. Suspect rocking the Kazuya on Smashville here, so close stage, not a whole lot of room for Sultan to work with. That being said, Kazuya doesn't have a whole ton of answers for a lot of the projectiles that Sora can bring to the table.
Yeah, a lot of the projectiles and a lot of those aerial options are going to be pretty brutal. But do keep in mind, again, Sora on the ground, not as fast as characters you would really want or expect. And so if this Kazuya can really just make this a boxing match, keep it right on the ground, keep it right in front of us, they can pull up some huge dividends. So far, it's still waiting for that first hit. Here, a little bit trapped at the ledge, trying to maintain stage control, not going to happen. Sultan really making use of that disjoint with some excellent spacing to just keep on this damage. Another freeze out, wonderfully timed. Doesn't get the follow-up in the air, but still at 0%. Sultan, as I was Suspect at 140, almost finds the drag down. Finally, though, the damage is going to come through onto Sultan. So no perfect stock here, no 0 to death. Still, though, a very good position to be in if you're an Iowa fan.
Got to be very careful here. 165. It's a lot of rage for Suspect, but they have not had the time to get the combos. That being said, now we're starting to get into kill range. Sora is on the lighter side of the cast, and they're at 75%. All this rage could build up. Maybe a chance here. That's a ledge regrab. Oh, but he doesn't find the conversion off the back of it. Good parry on the back air, but still nothing coming through. Another grab and a forward throw. Not a whole lot of kill throws for Sora from that angle, but they're going to get stage spiked again with the reversals. This time, it's the Kazuya neutral B knocking Sora into the stage, and the unprepared tech doesn't come through, and so down goes Sultan.
On their back foot, last moment, no chance they were going to recover from that. They come back with the neutral beam, with the projectile to get just enough smash with the perfect angle, send them down. Tech doesn't come through. And that resets their percentage. They're back at 0. No stock lost, no percentage. They ran it through like they just 0 to death that through a huge reversal, a huge turn off of what else but the Kazuya neutral projectile beam off stage. They couldn't even see where they were aiming.
So here's something that's interesting, because we already saw Kazuya once, right? And how many times did we see them stall out down low with the neutral B? That's a very odd kind of regional thing, I think, because I've never seen that anywhere else. I never see that neutral B. If that neutral B is coming out, it's usually up high or, along the line with the stage. But this time around, they're using it into the stage from down low. It's a decent option, but it just feels very odd and oddly specific, but it works out. It's the perfectly used utility here to take down Sultan on that last stock. So holding all three here, still a very solid lead. And now Iowa is down to their last member here. They've got to find a way to pull off what DICE was doing, taking down so many stocks, but that's going to be easier said than done.
Well, hey, you got to save the ringer for last. You got to save the anchor. If there's anyone who's going to be pulling the comeback, it's got to be right here, right now. That's what you save them for. My mentality with that kind of stuff is always, throw the person who's best out first, keep the person who's best or second best out for last. See if you can't roll it through. Loading it up right now. Or I believe this is a button check. So we're in a button check right now. We'll get to it in just a moment there.
Should be very fun to see, because and we talked about this a couple times with different crew battle formats, right? That lineup can really influence a matchup, right? You can kind of see, like, okay, I'm going up against this character next, or I'm going up against this tag. But when it comes to that blind pick, that first opening match, and then who do you want to save as your anchor? When do you want to put them in? That can really change the dynamics of a matchup, especially if you get a character lineup that is just very rough to kind of fight through. I don't expect to see that here, obviously, because we are where we are, but it is going to be worth noting for a lot of these teams moving forward, the strategy that goes into the decision-making of when to put in a player, power ranking your own team and saying, okay, number one is going in first, or number one, we want to keep you for last. We want to see what you have to fight through in a situation like this. There's different kind of philosophies to kind of go about in this type of battle, as we are getting ready for what could potentially be our last battle of the opening round here. A reminder that this is Swiss pools, so none of these teams will be eliminated or anything after the result of this match. But starting off on the right foot, starting off a LAN with a win means so much for momentum.
Oh my god. That's just such huge mental game, especially when you're in the energy with everyone else. You can feel how amped everybody else is. You're with your team, right here, all sharing the same emotions. If for nothing else, like not even for standings, just having that mental go and that mental boost, that confidence leading you into the next game after that is so, so huge. With Zed here on this Min, I gotta imagine it's gonna be really, really difficult for Kazuya to get in, especially because even though Min-Min's like this really, really long-range character, they do have some really quick short-range options as well.
They very much so do. Rage already online for both players here. They're up above the red percentages, and Rage Drive also online here for Kazuya. Can they find the grab here? I thought they'd go for the command grab in that moment, but they're playing a little bit more passive, a little bit more patient, knowing that they've got the advantage, and they're going to get the stock off the back of it here. Up smash will connect. Down goes stock number one of Zed. 137 right now. Maybe a chance here to get something. That falling nair could be very good, especially with Megawatt on the docket here, but oh no. Combo down B. I thought they were going off stage with it for a moment, but instead it's going to get reversal. What a tech! Hello at 166? Yeah, we've got those on LAN.
I mean, hey, when you've got the lead in stock, why not just send them off stage and take what you can, right? You only need the two more. You're at 160, just send it. Kill switch though, again, at 190 now. Still hasn't died, finally. The Dragon will do it. That resets them to 0%. Zed at 78. Last two stocks that the Hawkeyes can bring are right here, right now. Suspect gets back to stage. Zed trying to guard it. Huge grab, the slam to send it right back off. At almost 100%, any good hit off stage will absolutely send him. Still though, manages to recover. Grab comes out, sends Suspect back off stage. Charges up that ring smash, not gonna find it. And kill switch here, or as I was Suspect here, just a little bit stuck on this ledge, it feels like, against this Min power. Megawatt coming through. Can they find the follow-up? Not quite. Finally, they put their feet on solid ground again.
Finally made it back to stage, but for how long? They've gotten so much of the stock chipped away at. Again, how do you get in on this Min, on this reach with Kazuya? They will end up dying there, unable to re-grab that ledge in time, and so Suspect drops stock number 2 here, and Zeed is able to get out of the corner. Maybe a chance now, they go for the grab, but instead it's them who's getting grabbed. Back throw. Not going to be able to do too much with it here. Tried to cover the tether recovery. I like the idea with that down air, but now once again, they've been pushed to the corner, and we saw Zeed just slowly chip away at this stock last time. How long can they keep him here?
Yeah, I mean, how does a Kazuya get back on stage against Min? The answer is they don't. They get sent back, thrown off yet another tower to their death, and Suspect will be moving on. We get to see Zeed, the Min, the last stand for the Hawkeyes, staying on for at least one more.
At least one more. Should be interesting to see who Michigan State opts to send in here, because again, this lineup, we mentioned that they've got 2 teams here. When you look at this lineup, right, you've got a lot of players who have really kind of shown up, especially at the Michigan State kind of local scene. Players like Hawk are in the background. You can see Dice. We saw the Falco start off the day. They're getting ready for potentially their next match. I believe that's Crash stepping in. No, it's going to be Hawk locked in as our next member. But there's a lot of solid players on this Spartans A squad. And so who do they want to give that time, in the spotlight to? Who do they want to get most comfortable on stage? Should be interesting to see. And I'm not surprised to see Hawk locked in here. They want to try and secure this W because, again, when it comes to pool play, tiebreakers, we talk about them a lot, and one of the big tiebreakers is that stock differential here. If they can, they won't be able to get that double digits this time around, but they're very close. The larger your margin of victory, the more likely you are to have a higher seed headed into the playoffs.
Yeah. And Hawk here, typically a Rob player. That's what we have on our notes. With that, I think that's a really good pick into Min, just because, again, you have those spacing options, you have those long-range options, you have a really, really good projectile to actually meet Min where they are. If you want, you can just take the long stage, sit at the other end, shoot lasers all day long, try to get close. You have that gyro, which is so, so huge, and the moment that Min's in disadvantage, you've got all of the aerials in the world that you could ever need.
So many strong aerials, and again, if you get Min off stage, it is a tether recovery for Min, but Rob has such a good way to deal with tether recoveries with the gyro, with the down air hitbox that is basically the size of Alaska, right? You've got so many ways to edge guard this Min if you get them off stage. So you could potentially take stocks very early. I'm curious to see if Hawk decides to get aggressive and go for those early stocks. Zeed, believe they're down to 1 or 2 here. They've got 2 stocks remaining in this matchup. What can they do with it here? Can they hold on? Can they chip away at Michigan State? We'll have to see here on Small Battlefield.
So with Hawk as well, they're actually one of the standout doubles players for Michigan State. Bring it in. They really like to play with a teammate, work it through, which I think brings a little bit extra. When you have to be so careful with your moves, so precise in your movement, that you're not running into your teammate, that you're not damaging them, and that you can work on those skills with them, I think it adds to your movement just in the realm of precision. But no matter how precise you are, it doesn't matter when you're getting hit by the Megawatt.
We talked about how strong this Rob pick could be into Min, but right now it is flipped around, but maybe a chance here to go for the edge guard. Hawk looking for a way to take that stock very early. Zeed able to get out of it, and now the battle for stage control is on. It's Hawk who's winning it for the moment. Zeed pushed to the corner here, rolls behind. Good nair to help them get out, and now they've got stage control. Now, gyro in hand, getting aggressive once more. Good kind of drops and pick back ups on that gyro as well. Down tilt to knock them off stage. Tether recovery will help them snap back. They're able to roll around that side B too, but they do not want to mess with that move. That lingering hitbox could have almost gotten the kill.
Almost. 125 now, absolutely kill range. Set up with a gyro, set up with a laser, closing the distance. Nair is a really good choice. Can they find the follow-up? They cannot. Zeed, too quick to react. Now it's Hawk who's off stage. Can they fly high and get back? They sure can. But now, trapped on the ledge against a Min. Doesn't matter too much. They've got that huge nair. Able to get Rob anywhere he wants. Close in time for boxing. Nair gonna send Zeed up. Dodge comes through. Tether grab. Can they grab? Yes, they can. Hawk not able to fight out on the ledge. That needs to be where the majority of kills are coming through. That's got to be the bread and butter. And now though, the berry that will send him. Got the jump perfectly, up air, gets the stock. One more now.
Huge grab to take that stock, and now they're sitting at 122 here. Can they get anything more off the back of it? No, the answer is no. The arm comes through, down goes stock number 9, how do you do math again? 7 off the board here. Again, it's still a tall mountain for Zed to climb, but it is still doable here. It Smash is a game where you only need 1 stock. We saw him take the stock very early. Look at the conversion into the laser arm, but still not enough. The Dragon not able to take that stock quite yet. Fights through the first arm, but the second one punches through again, and this stock is just getting chipped away at time and time again. You can only hang on that ledge for so long. Hawk now trying to find a way back, trying to find a way to take the stock and secure the W for the Spartans, but they got to fight for stage control, and scrapping with Min from this distance is only working against them. What a call out with the reflector and the laser. Yes, the backwards hitbox of it will still connect and come through. Lingering hitboxes being so much of a threat, but the run up, they go for the up smash, trying to pull off the Fox maneuver, and they're going to get punished for it. Zed survives and takes down another member of the Spartans.
Keeping it moving. I gotta say, I do like that run-up up smash option.
I do.
At the end of the day, you're at high percent, last stock. All you need is 1 more stock for your team to win. Might as well throw it. If it connects, you win. You're done. Move on to the next game. No more worrying about this one. And just didn't work out. Just didn't work out how expected, how wanted. And at the end of the day, I've got to respect those, high risk, high reward options.
The move I thought that was going to come out was down smash. I thought he was going to try and play it, try and call out, okay, I know he's going to be on the platform somewhere here. Could be rolling away, could be rolling back in. But I think he tried to call it the jump out of the corner there instead with that up smash. Either way, doesn't quite connect. Zed able to survive and take down another member of Michigan State. Looks like Linus will be entering the lineup here. And again, still a tall task now that Zed is down to 1 stock, but they've certainly made a dent into the Spartans' lead.
Well, by pace alone, Zed's been losing 1 stock a game. They're at 1 stock last game. So, a little bit of here, a little bit of there. The mirror? The mirror coming out. We've got Linus down as a Rosalina. Instead, Min v Min is going to be the play. Linus needs to get rid of 1 more stock. All right, down to the game. Let's make some ramen and send it.
Zed, by the way, is the Min in the red, I believe. It's going to be Linus in the blue, so we'll have to keep track of that. Zed's going to get grabbed here by Linus. Linus now makes something happen. Gets a bit more damage on the board here. And although they are a Rosalina and Luma main, it tells me that they're able to also pull off a Min play. It tells me that they are very strategic in how they play, because that is one of the things about those 2 characters, right? The distance that they can cover and the traps that you can kind of set up with that distance is always threatening. And right now, they're doing a very good job of covering Zed. I love the idea that the edge guard doesn't quite come through. Zed now trying to reverse this situation. Linus will be able to make it back to the stage for a moment. 82%, they're on the ledge. Can't hang there forever, though. Goes down, tries to get the edge guard, and he dipped a bit too far with it. Linus goes down and drops the stock.
Last place you want to be against a good Min is lingering on the ledge. Tries to find the edge guard there, not going to grab it. Linus able to get back fast enough, but the call-out post on main sends it away. That will do it. Spartans end up taking down the Hawkeyes.